Thank you. About to do our introductions. It does this little spinny thing. I don't know if it's my camera or hers, but it always does like this weird thingy. So thank you for tuning in. It's you're absolutely gonna love it. We're talking about the seventh house, so that's why I call it revealing your seventh house. And this is our 24th episode. So if you've been with us for some time, thank you for tuning in. No breaks. Let's see. Okay, so it's doing this thing again. Let me see. Oh, okay. So she must had to restart. So I'm going to continue to talk to you all because tonight, um, your seventh house reveals like your partner relationships. So does that not happen every Tuesday? It's just too much high vibrational energy online. They can't handle it. So tap back in. Come on in. Come on back in. It's too much high vibrational energy online. They knocked us. Yes, they knew we were coming. Yes, I am. Yes, I knew something. I knew something had happened. You can't? I can't see you. Hi, Royal Queen. Queen is 99. We doing great tonight. We got knocked offline, but back in the building like a window. We're going to try this again. I can't see you, B. I can hear you, but I can't see you. Oh, and I wish you could see me. Well, you'll see me in the video because, you know, your boy is looking good tonight. That's all I can say. Can everybody else see Magoon? Can you see both of us? We're truly blessed. Hi, welcome. Thank you guys for tapping in. This is going to be a very interesting topic tonight, so make sure you have your pen and your paper ready. We are discussing your perfect mate. Thank you, Auntie. Okay, so she can see both of us. Can you hear me clearly? I just want to make sure we don't have any interruptions. Okay, so you can see both of us, so that's the main thing. So we're talking about who you're drawn to, your perfect mate. First house is a house of self. Fourth house is a house of where you're from, where you live, and the seventh house is who you're with. Who you are with, your perfect mate. Oh, wait. Thank you. You can see both of us. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. If it's your first time here, welcome. If not, welcome back. I'm actually Anya, an intuitive alchemist and energy reader, and I'm just here to help y'all heal. And we're healing with humor because laughter is the best medicine. Talk to them, B. Yes, I am B, also known as Magoon, and I am what I am. Spirit uses me as spirit pleases, and I just do what I'm told because, for the most part, and not for the most part, but it's not just for me, but it's for you, as Anya stated, for your healing, and so that's what we're about. We're just trying to heal our people. That's right. That's right. That's right. So we're gonna dive right into tonight's topic. As I said, we're talking about the seventh house, and we're describing your perfect partner. Now, let's not get this confused because the seventh house deals with other aspects. It's not only your perfect partner or partnerships. It deals with partnerships, but it's a lot that encompasses the seventh house. House like zodiac sign. Yes. Yes. Yes, this is involving the zodiac sign. Now I do. And welcome for joining us. Yes. Yes, we go ahead.
I do want to do a quick card pulling just to prepare the people for what's to happen because Spirit wanted me to draw some cards. And I was like, okay. So, right before we get into the seventh house, as Anye was stating, because we're going to get into some very deep stuff. Like this is not surface level. This is going to be some deep stuff. So, um, Spirit asked me to get my dark mirror cards, and um, so my question is to give the collective the message to prepare them for tonight. All right. The card that came out is today for tomorrow. No lie. Number 32. So take that as it resonates. Today for tomorrow. So that means it's going to be some very interesting instructions coming out for everybody. And I'm going to read that really quickly. The moon phase is full, and you know we just had a full moon to pass. Like the beginning, the end was the beginning of this week. The stage is acceptance, and it says hope is in the present. It's the brick we use to build the future on. The visual seed, mother and daughter, or maybe twins, or the same person in different times. Red hair, a black dress, standing at the top of some stairs under the moon in the wind. The sentence, I want it some, I want it later, gently. Going dark. It may seem like a trade off to sacrifice the present in order to secure a better future. That's what ants do. Or to sacrifice the future to enjoy a better present. Cicadas do this. Either choice holds a bitter taste. It's like watching a child play. Shouldn't she study? And if she were studying, wouldn't she regret not playing more? You meet a person you are attracted to. Do you go past and let it stay in the fantasy? Or you make a move and follow it through to the ephemeral ending? The endless choices between regret and remorse. What if, for once, we turn our back to the dark? We do the unexpected and we shred it like an used dress. We can walk by the sea as no one is around and we skinny dip out of our worries. The present and the future are one single integrated connection. There is no choice because the road is only one. But we are today, and what we are tomorrow may be different, but it is the same person. And so, out of the healing cards, let's see what comes out. Okay, this one wanted to come out. So, I definitely want you to remember the words that came out for today, for tomorrow, because as we dive deep into the seventh house, you will recognize why that is important to understand who you are today versus who you are tomorrow and the impact of those that came into your life yesterday and then today, or today versus tomorrow. Because as we grow older, we know that people in our lives change, and there's a reason for that. And so we're going to get into that. The three the three healing cards that came out is Aquamarine, Divine, Life Purpose. And it says, trust the signs and your inner guidance, which are leading you to fulfillment. The next one is Moonstone. And it says, heighten intuition. Be extra aware of your inner knowingness as it's trustworthy. The last is Angelite, spiritual or religious community. Join with like minded people for friendship and increased spiritual growth. Now, you all saw me just pull these cards, and they're all talking about the same thing. people being in your lives for it's the divine purpose of your life, for you to understand your intuition or your true innermost self, and to connect with others of the same mind, others of the same path, your tribe, right? Your spiritual tribe, your soul tribe, your best friends, the people that's in your lives. And that is what we are talking about today. Like, I am so honored, and I don't know if I've ever expressed this on live, but I am so honored to be doing this platform with my best friend, right? Because we know that we were divinely connected at a time when both of us were asleep. We were both asleep, and in this thing, and when we awoke, and we was like, "Hey, you see what I see? You talking my language?" It lets us know that we were on the right path and didn't even know it. Divinely inspired and divinely connections are real. And that's what we're talking about tonight. So I'll give it to you, Bestie.
Definitely. No, I like how you segued into that. That was definitely needed because I was starting to stumble over my damn words. So thanks for the save, Bestie. Thanks for the audio.
I got you.
So, like Magoon said, we are discussing the seventh house, and it not only deals with relationships. Okay, this house has to deal with partnerships, has to do with contracts, it has to do with balance, and it's been seventh house has been considered the house of partnerships of all kinds. Like I said, business, contracts, balance, and relationships. And it is an air house, so it is associated with Venus and Libra. So it's all about balance. How to maintain balance. And how do you maintain balance? By putting emphasis on the first house, the house of self. Making sure that your self is taken care of, making sure that you are healing thyself. Because if you put emphasis on a relationship and you're neglecting the relationship within, that relationship is going to fall because it's not built on a solid foundation. The first relationship you need to nurture and take care of is self, first house energy. And once you nourish and take care of that relationship, everything else will follow. So balance is essential for this energy, okay? And this planetary magic can help you help yourself, which will in turn help your relationships. I know I sound like a broken record, but you have to understand, overstand, and understand that the first house and the seventh house are on opposite axes. So they're opposite. So in order for you to heal the seventh house, your relationships, your partnerships, you have to heal the first house. So you're always going to hear me put a lot of emphasis on healing yourself, because when you heal yourself, you heal a nation, you heal everything. So I honestly just want to jump right into it. I have some notes that I'm kind of like mentally checking off as I'm like anticipating going straight to me, but I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything.
Right.
Knowing your 17th can reveal a lot about what you seek in a partner and what qualities you attract in others, who you are drawn to. And you know what? With astrology, you have to take the circuitous route. You can't just jump right into it. Like, you got to take the long way, because even though it's not as complex as everyone thinks it is, it's very intricate. And it's a lot of different parts to it, which is why we couldn't possibly go through all the houses in one episode. So we have to designate each podcast to each house. That's how detailed it is and how intricate it is. So tonight we are focusing on the seventh house. Yo, let's just jump right into it.
Let's do it.
My neck is standing up. The hands on the back of my neck is
standing up.
So let's jump right into it, Bestie.
Right, because I have a candle burning, and the way this wax is falling off, I said, "Ooh, okay."
And FYI, guys, remember the sign that's on the cusp of your seventh house shows the qualities you are attracted to and how you approach relationships. Okay, it's the sign that's on the cusp of your seventh house. Okay, so we're gonna start off with Aries as we always do. So if Aries is on the cusp of your seventh house, you are drawn to dynamic, energetic partners. Go figure, Aries, fire energy, who are confident and assertive. You may thrive in relationships that are passionate and sometimes competitive. You seek partners who can keep up with your adventurous spirit and aren't afraid to take the lead. Now, did you still want to go double dutch when it comes to the signs, Bestie? Or are you going to wait until I get finished to chime in?
No,
Or
we
you
can.
want to do it?
We can still go back and forth because I want the people to understand, the whole picture. Yeah.
Okay, so you want to get into the hidden enemies, or you just want me to just keep going?
Um,
Because I didn't mention we started that the seventh house also talks about your hidden enemies. So the
Okay.
12th house are not hidden enemies, hidden or visible. I know the 12th house is hidden enemies.
Yeah. So it's these are your
Seventh house
visible. Yeah. These are your
Okay,
visible.
these enemies are visible. The 12th house is hidden enemies, your enemies that you really can't see until you've gone through the mud with them or whatnot. But the seventh house, these enemies are visible. So, did you want me to continue and you want to talk about it after, or you want to do double dutch when it comes to jumping in?
So I want you to read the full beginning of Aries, and then when you finish, then I'll come in with the Aries about the visible enemies. There we go. Yeah,
Yeah, I always keep you the 12th and 7th when it comes to visible and hidden enemies. I always do that. So that was
exactly.
it, actually. Partners who can keep up with your adventurous spirit and aren't afraid to take the lead. That was the end for the Aries.
Okay, and so for Aries, because Aries is ruled by the planet Mars, this is what it says about your your enemies basically. So Mars in the seventh, Mars in okay, so I'm gonna just read Mars in the seventh. It said, with these placements, these natives will dislike those who are inconsiderate. Now, this what I'm reading now is how you perceive people. So if these people show any of these actions, you don't like them. So you in your mind you regard them as an enemy because it goes against your nature. So it says, with these placements, the natives will dislike those who are inconsiderate, those with anger issues, and those who use their anger destructively. However, this dislike can highlight how the native can struggle to handle their own energy themselves. Your enemies will attempt to take advantage of your energy, your passion, and your anger. And so, what I found out later is that it also depends on something else. So, so Aries, if you have Aries in your seventh house, um, you also have to look at which house Aries is in, right? So, the house of Aries is in the first house. And so, the moon of the first house, which is in Mars, says this, and this is how your enemy will trick you, how your enemy attacks you specifically. Your enemies attack you, or the reason why they attack you, excuse me. Your enemies attack you because they dislike your self expression. Your self expression can be highly affected by your enemies. So just how you express yourself. So and when I think of Aries, I think of the color red. It's fire sign, right? So if say that you have an Aries seventh house, and for some reason, and you could be like a Gemini sun sign, right? But your seventh house is in Aries, and you may decide, oh, I like the color red, so you wear red all the time. People could dislike you just for wearing the color red because that's how you expressing yourself. And that is why your enemies attack you. But these same enemies are also the same ones that, you know, have these anger issues and be destructive. And you're just like, I don't like that. and they equally don't like you back. Yeah, I'm
So
finished.
it's basically just them not liking how you express yourself because that Aries energy is very abrasive. It's very in your face. It's very rah rah, and you could be
Exactly.
disliked simply for being yourself, for exuding the same energy that God blessed you with. So you're being hated for being yourself.
Exactly.
Basically,
Basically.
that's
Right. Who you are
that's
authentically
crazy.
will irritate people.
When you're being authentic, you're being hated, and when you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, you're being hated. They gonna hate regardless. Like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Exactly. Exactly.
Let's keep that moving.
Okay.
Okay, so that was Aries, my beautiful people. Next, we are moving on to Taurus. So if Taurus is on your seventh house cusp, you value stability, loyalty, and sensuality in relationships. You seek partners who are dependable and provide a sense of security and comfort. Comfort and pleasure are very important to you. And you enjoy relationships that are nurturing and grounded. Anyone that knows a Taurus know that they are grounded. They love stability, slow moving, but they are grounded. And I always say this when I'm making a point about having grounded people around you.
Exactly.
Capricorn energy, Virgo energy, Taurus energy. Make sure you have grounded energy around you because they'll keep you humble and they'll keep you in place. So that was the end of the Taurus being.
Okay. And so Taurus, we know, is ruled by the planet Venus, the planet of love. So, with Taurus, it's going to be all about love for them, right? So, this is what your perspective is on those who you dislike. It says natives with these placements will dislike those who are shallow and overly indulgent. However, this dislike can highlight the shallowness they may have in themselves. Your enemies will attempt to attack your ideals, your appearance, and sense of comfort. It is unlikely for these natives to have many enemies. So you may not have a lot of enemies, but the enemies that you do have, it almost sounds like they're people that are close to you, because those people will be the ones that will like, oh girl, I got this idea, let me share it with you. Or what do you think of this outfit? And you know what, girl, I'm just gonna lay in my house today because I'm comfortable. And these will be the ones that nitpick at that for you. So when it comes to you, or how your enemies attack you, your enemies attack you because they dislike your values and self security. Your security through values, money, and self confidence can be highly affected by your enemies. Because, mind you, if you are comfortable, if you're saying, you know, well, girl, I'm not going to worry about my hair today. And they're like, okay. And then they're looking at you like, child, why she come out here like this? And you comfortable in your skin, comfortable in my skin, cozy with who I am. Come on, cozy. You're cozy. And they're mad at your coziness. And they want to judge you for your coziness. And so because they attack you because of this, this will start to make you have low self-esteem about yourself because of what other people are saying, what other people are thinking.
And I've seen that happen to a few Taurus sons. I've seen that happen to a few people who have their sun sign in Taurus because they're very selective, first and foremost, about who they let in to their personal circle. And not only that, but they live the life of luxury. So if you've ever been in the energy of a Taurus person, they have beautiful homes, they have beautiful cars. Like everything around them is just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see someone could attack them for wanting to live the nice life, wanting to have like nice things, wanting to be in luxury because maybe that person feels like they don't deserve it, or maybe that person feels like, why not me? Like, why them?
Exactly.
So I've seen that happen to a lot of Taurus people.
Exactly.
So it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that. All right, let's keep it moving. Gemini. If Gemini is on the seventh house, I'm sorry, if you have Gemini on the seventh house cusp, it means you crave intellectual stimulation and variety in your partnerships. Communication is key. That's with any Gemini. You got to be able to communicate. That's key for all Geminis.
Mm-hmm.
And you need a partner who can engage with you on a mental level. You might be attracted to witty, versatile individuals who keep things interesting and lively.
Yes. Interesting and lively. Interesting and lively and intellectual conversations. I love it. So for the Gemini, if you have Gemini in your seventh house, this is how you perceive uh, your enemies or the people that rub you the wrong way. I should start saying that so people can understand what I'm saying better. But it says that natives with these placements will dislike those who are flaky, who are picky, and intellectually demanding. However, this feeling of aversion can point out the intellectual struggles that the native themselves can have. Your enemies will attempt to attack your intelligence, your mind, and your words. So if you are somebody with a Gemini in your seventh house, you more than likely love knowledge, right? And you love that information, and people are angry and kind of jealous of that information. So this is how they try to attack you, or attack you rather. Your enemies attack you because they dislike your mind and words. Your words and thoughts can be highly affected by your enemies. So the very things that you say, you can be talking about. Okay, let me just let the cat out the bag. So I have Gemini in my seventh house, right? And so there would be times where I would talk to someone else, or I'm just expressing myself, vernacularly, right? And people will be like, "Why are you so happy? Nobody's that happy." And I'm just like, but I am. And it's just like some people would say, oh, it's something about your voice that drew me to you, and others would be like, I ain't trying to listen to anything he got to say. And that's fine, that's your opinion. That means you're my enemy. That means that what I'm saying is rubbing you the wrong way for a reason, right? Because it's more than likely something that you're dealing with or that you're struggling with, and my words are poking at you like, this is what you need to do, this is how you need to change your life. And I say that because as a healer, we tend to just do things, and like I said, spirit will use me how spirit will use me. Sometimes I can say things to people and they will come back to me and say, hey, I didn't really like what you said, but I needed to hear it because there's some changes that I'm going through, right? And so just because of the words that I say, people will not like me, right? Mm-hmm. So just to give you that example.
Mm-hmm. And Gemini energy is very intellectual. It's all about the mind. And the first thing that came to mind when you said that was the Drake and Kendrick beef. And I feel like Drake was attacking Kendrick's Gemini mind. And he could never do that. Like Kendrick is already 10 steps ahead of the game. Like he right. Really knew Drake was gonna come to him way before Drake even dropped the diss. It's that mental mentality that just is always 10 steps ahead of the game. Like 10 steps ahead. Think that you can one up a Gemini. They're always gonna up the ante. Always. They're always gonna up the ante. And I say this 1,000 times. Every top 5 rapper is a Gemini. Biggie, Tupac, right. Lauryn Hill, Jake Kiss, like Gemini. Listen. Gemini energy. Like you never outwit a Gemini. Never.
And that's why I love Tupac. I'm trying to tell you, I'm a hardcore Tupac fan. People, you wouldn't know, but I am. I promise you.
They're very witty. They're very witty and great with their words. Let's keep it moving. Right?
Yes.
A laundry list of signs to get through. So next we have Leo. Happy Leo season, by the way. If y'all didn't get me express it on my channel enough. Happy Leo season. Yep. With Leo on the 7th cusp, you desire a relationship that is vibrant and full of life. You are attracted to confident, charismatic partners who shine brightly. Loyalty and admiration are essential, and you enjoy being with someone who makes you feel special and appreciated, like every Leo would. B, you got it.
I'm sorry. When as soon as you heard that, or as soon as you said that, appreciate it, I heard appreciate it. No one gonna love you. Like I heard. Okay, I promise.
If you don't get my Cosmic Husband song out your mouth,
But I'm sorry, but it just came. I'm telling you. So, what it says about you all who have a Leo placement in your seventh house, it said with these placements, there can be an aversion to people to who are arrogant and egotistical. However, this feeling of aversion can also point out the arrogance in the native themselves. Your enemies will attempt to attack your ego and who you essentially are. Because you got a big ego, such a big ego. So, yeah, so and so but also I do want the collective to know that as I'm reading it, and also know that it says that there is also that point about yourself. It points out, so it's basically the people that are coming to you are being mirrors to you to show you the things to check yourself on.
that makes sense.
And that's why they say, have you ever, it's giving me that same sense of when two people are just alike and they say I can't stand that person or I can't stand that person, and then you looking at them like, well, both of y'all are alike. Like, help me understand. I would have thought y'all would have been the best friends, like two peas in the pod, you know. And you saying you both rubbing each other the wrong way is because both of you are the same. That's what the energy is giving me. It's specifically for that one, but collectively it's the same thing, right? And so, Leo is in the fifth house, as we stated. And so, this is how your enemies try to attack you. If you have Leo in your seventh house, your enemies attack you because they dislike your creativity and romantic partners. Your attempts to inspiration in your romantic relationships can be highly affected by your enemies. So just by they are jealous of who you're dating, basically. Is I mean, your artistic vision, which means, so think of any creative person. Like, I mean, what we were just talking about Kendrick Lamar and oh shoot, Drake, right? So if either one of the two was the attacker, and it's because, oh, I see the talent in you, so I'm going to attack that thing so people will stop listening to you, right? Or how many times somebody come in, a lady comes in with a nice man, or nice man comes in with a young lady, and and then somebody else is looking and they're like, dang, I wish I had that person. Why them two get together? Why them? They're hating on your relationship just because of who you are, just because of who you're with, and they want that.
And
Yeah.
let me just say this, because it's nothing wrong with having an ego. As long as the sun shines, you're going to have a shadow.
Right. Right.
But I know how to balance that ego out. And the seventh house is about balance. Libra energy. You have to be able to have duality when it comes to having the ego and staying humble. And as soon as you figure that out, your life will get easier.
Exactly.
Your interactions will become easier. So just focus on balance. And that is the that was Leo, right?
Yes. Question: did we skip over Cancer?
We did skip Cancer. Cancer will be next. I don't know how I skipped Cancer. Cancer is looking right at me like, B, what it is, yo? What's up? Can it like, okay, all right, Cancer. And Cancer is on the seventh house cusp. You see emotional depth and security in your relationships. You're drawn to nurturing, compassionate partners who make you feel at home. Your relationships are likely to be deeply intimate and protective. No wonder I threw you off, because you were probably like, wait, hold up. Okay, so I know something is missing. I just don't know what, but I'm just gonna skip right to Leo. All right, come back to Cancer now. That was
Right.
it. Go ahead.
So I also want to say it was something. Read that last line again for Cancer.
Your relationships are likely to be deeply intimate and protective.
Okay, so whenever you said that, I was also reminded to tell the collective that these are also meaning relationships pertaining to business. And so for some of you, you have to, people are attacking your businesses based off of these same qualities and qualifications, or these things based off of your essence, right? So if you're very protective of your business, if you are a Cancer if you have Cancer in your seventh house, then this is why, basically, or this is why you are rubbed the wrong way with people. Um, and it says natives with these placements will dislike others who are manipulative and lack restraint on their emotional impulses. However, this feeling of aversion can highlight the lack of emotional control the native may have. Your enemies will attempt to hurt your feelings. So, if you are Cancer in the seventh house as a Cancer sun sign, they say that we are very emotional. Now, we can get very emotional only because Cancers are empaths, right? That means outside influences kind of control our temperature unless we know how to balance that. And we're talking about balance tonight. So, if someone from the outside is rubbing you the wrong way, if they attempt to hurt your feelings, that means that if your feelings are hurt, you're not in a balanced place of mind. And so you're going to act erratically. So your emotions will be all over the place, right? So that is their form of a type of control. And so, since Cancer is of the fourth house, this is how they attack us. Your, I said us. This is how they attack Cancer. Cancer seven houses. It says your enemies attack you because they dislike your past and family. Your past and family can be highly affected by your enemies. So this also, what's the closest thing? Cancers is all about the home. So if they can't get to you, they're going to attack your family, or they're going to attack your business, because your business is technically your child, right? So if they attack your business and say, "Oh, if your business is called Sneaker Threads and you sell specialized shoestrings, right?" And somebody gets online and say, "Let me tell you about Sneaker Threads. Sneaker Threads is just as cheap. They use cheap products. They buy products from another country. They don't really make them themselves, and da 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 da." And you hear that, and you just like, "But I hand make these. My fingers be bleeding every night." And you're gonna say that this is false, and that's gonna hurt you some type of way. So if they can't get you directly, they're gonna get those that's closest to you. And that is how your enemies try to attack you. So that is why, as a Cancer in the seventh house, you have to make sure that your family and your things are protected. Whether you are praying, whether you were whatever you do to protect people, right? Let's because there's all types of forms of protection. In the words of Medea, if you got to have you a peace so that things can be still, get you a peace so things can be still, right? So you have to make sure that but you have to make sure that you are balanced when you have these things too, because you don't want the backlash, because karma is real. Because if you go after somebody and you're not in a balanced state of mind, you will get that karma coming back. So again, make sure you're balanced.
And I know we spoke about this off camera, but I want you guys to hone in on how important it is to be conscientious of your mental health. And making sure that you are balanced, not only within yourself, but within your relationships. Because if you're not balanced within your relationships, everything else is going to trickle down and fall. And a lot of people say that the downfall of a lot of people has been the relationships that they have been in. Because your relationship is basically your life. Like, don't make it your life. You're two separate people, two separate entities and energies. But if you ever noticed, the downfall of most people is usually the relationships that they're in. So make sure you balance.
Yes.
Balance that first house energy, the energy of self, so that the seventh house energy can fall right into place. You can't have one without the other. Yes, they're opposites on opposite axles, but you have to have self balance in order to have balance within your relationships. You can't have one without the other.
Yes.
You have to have balance within yourself.
And as Ashley is reading the type of people that you are mostly attracted to, if your mate does not have those qualities, then more than likely either they are an enemy or they're not meant for you. There might be a lesson. If they don't carry the qualities that's a part of your seventh house, I'm telling you, I am telling you, because my bestie know, the first thing I would say is that I am I love intelligence. I've always said that. And this was before me getting, I told you, when we were asleep, these are the conversations that we would have. I love intelligence. If you're not speaking a certain type of way, it's a turn off for me, right? And that's what it says. My seventh house is attracting people who are highly intelligent or who speak very smartly. You know what I'm saying? It has an educated mind. There we go.
That's right. Now pause. Now, this is just a disclaimer. We're not advocating for anyone to get a divorce or to break up or cut ties with anyone if you hear that they don't embody the energy of your seventh house. We're just simply saying that your relationship could flow a lot more easier if your mate embodies these traits.
Exactly.
Or if what you have in your seventh house, if your mate is what's in your seventh house.
Right.
If your mate looks like your seventh house.
Right. And I was.
But we're not asking anyone to get a divorce, separate,
right,
go on vacation with another. We're just letting you guys know there's an easy way, or you could take the long way.
Right.
Okay. Which makes you just have to learn a lesson from this person.
Right.
And no one's really your enemy. Every person is a teacher. And we're meant to learn lessons. Let's keep it moving, B.
Yes.
Next, we have Virgo. Did I skip anything? No, we know got Cancer. Leo is next. Next, we have Virgo. If Virgo is on your seventh house cusp, this indicates a preference for practical, reliable partners. You value precision and attention to detail in relationships and seek someone who is supportive and organized. You may be drawn to partners who help you heal, improve, and grow. And this is so Virgo energy. I'm surprised I didn't have analytical here. Like, I'm looking for the word analytical. Where is it? Because that's the first thing that comes to mind when I think of a Virgo. Analytical. Well, paying attention to detail. That's pretty much analytical. But yeah, you are drawn to partners who help you improve and grow. You are drawn to partners that help you become a better version of yourself, basically.
Exactly. And we've heard this time before, but Virgo is also ruled by the planet of Mercury. So I'm going to read Mercury again for you. It said natives with these placements will dislike those who are flaky, picky, and intellectually demanding. However, this feeling of aversion can point out the intellectual struggles and native themselves can have. Your enemies will attempt to attack your intelligence, mind, and words. So, so the Virgo is just like the Gemini, mind you. I'm just saying, it's all about the intellect and how they attack Virgo, because Virgo is in the sixth house. Your enemies attack you because they dislike your way of living life. Your daily life and health can be highly affected by your enemies. And so we have a friend that is a Virgo, and there's certain things, right? There's certain things that she do, and we have had a conversation, and she has told me, they liked me until they saw how I was living, and they left. And I don't know if her seventh house is in Virgo, but we have had conversations. So that is a real thing. How you live your life in your Virgo seventh house, minding your own seventh house business, will turn somebody off the wrong way and say, I don't like how that person too flashy for me. I'm gonna hate on her. I'm gonna mess up her car. You living your best life. And the people are literally hating on that. So definitely protect that. Definitely watch out for those who try to come against your intellect, for sure.
Keep the grass low so you can see the snakes.
Exactly.
That grass low. Next, we got Libra. If Libra is on your seventh house cusp, balance and harmony are crucial in your relationships. You seek a partner who is charming, fair, and diplomatic. Cooperation and mutual respect are key. And you thrive in partnerships that are equal and harmonious. And this is the basis of this topic. Like balance, balance, balance.
Don't tip the scales.
Balance. Go ahead, B.
Right. I was saying don't tip the scales. Just keep it balanced. And also, just like Taurus, Libras is ruled by the planet of Venus, the planet of love. And love, what more can you say about love is that love balances you, right? Like that's why you feel like you float on air when you meet your person. You just like, oh shoot now, like you get butterflies and everything, right? There's something happening in your muscles in your body that never happened before when you start to feel that love muscle, right? And so what it says again, it says natives with these placements will dislike those who are shallow and overly indulgent. However, the dislike highlights the shallowness they may have in themselves. Your enemies will attempt to attack your ideals, your appearance, and sense of comfort. It is unlikely for these natives to have many enemies. So, just like Taurus, you're not going to have too many enemies, Libra, because why? You're coming in balanced. So, most people can tolerate you. But for those who are irritated by your presence, that's what will happen. And in fact, the Libra is in the seventh house. And this is what it says about the lords of the seventh house. It says, your enemies attack you because they dislike how you interact with them and others. Your interactions in general can be highly affected by your enemies. So, again, if you coming in balanced and this person is unbalanced, they're jealous. They want what you have. But instead of asking you, how do I get that? They will rather tear you down. And I want y'all to think about that.
If they're mad at how other people interact with you, then I hear that right.
It says your enemies attack you because they dislike how you interact with them and others. So again, you coming in balanced and you're like, hey, I know that you're having a bad day, but let me give you a hug. And they get mad at, why is this person hugging me? Why is this person going around here? Why are they so happy? Exactly. And they hate that, right? Because that's what they secretly want, but they can't have.
Mm.
I mean, well, they can have it, but they can't pull it from you to have it. That's what I mean.
Ain't that about it?
Right. Right.
They mad because you're in high vibrational energy, mad because you're doing good. You're taking care of yourself. You're healing. Like who would be mad at that unless you just mad in general? Like who's mad at somebody for being happy? Come on.
Let me tell you, I literally just heard this. The spirit just said, for some, you have a natural talent and they are jealous of that natural talent.
Okay.
So even though it's talking about, how you interact with people, that may be something you do. Like it's almost like if you're naturally a comedian and you come in joking and people hating on you and people like, why is this person hating on you? Because you're the most likable person. You're the fun. Like every time we come in, Like you always make us laugh. And there's that one person that don't laugh at the jokes because they don't find it funny. Right? And it's because they are secretly hating you, truly, to your core.
Ooh, child, I'm glad you reading these. I'm glad you reading it because you letting us know what it is. The cards never lie.
The cards
The
never
cards
lie.
energy never lies. I keep telling people, like, regardless of what you have been indoctrinated to believe, astrology has never steered me wrong. It has yet to give me false information. Astrology has always been accurate. Let's keep it moving. Next, we're up at Scorpio.
Scorpio.
The Scorpio house cusp. It means you create intense, transformative relationships. You are attracted to passionate, mysterious partners who can match your emotional depth. Trust and loyalty are paramount with any Scorpio, and you desire a connection that goes beyond the surface. And let me just say this because I know a lot about Scorpionic energy, and they are intensely intense. Any Scorpio you meet is going to be intense. And I believe that they are that way because they fear betrayal. They fear being betrayed. So when you meet a Scorpio, don't automatically think off of the rip that they just are, you know, very abrasive and you can't break them and you can't get through to them. They fear betrayal. They fear being betrayed until they warm up to you and they know that they can trust you. That's when they let you in. I just want to say that because I know a lot about Scorpionic energy.
Okay.
Go ahead, B.
And I will say that I want to tell people fear can sometimes look like anger. Fear can sometimes look like I'm about to punch you in your face because how dare you come in my space trying to play my face? I'm trying to be real and open with you, and you're coming with some tricks to. You know what? That's what happens, and it's a true irritation. So I do want to say that because I hear sometimes a lot. But Scorpios have bad energy. They can be really mean and stuff, and I'm like, no, no, no. Their sign is right. Right. Their sign is a scorpion. Scorpions only attack you when provoked.
That's right.
When you provoke them, then that's when they attack because they're afraid for their life. They're like, oh, well, you coming at me? No, get back. That's their energy. And so if you have Scorpio in your seventh house, that means you're ruled by the planet of Pluto. And so this is what it says. It said natives with this placement will dislike those who are volatile, manipulative, and power hungry. However, these natives may struggle to acknowledge these traits in themselves. Your enemies will attempt to attack you by making you feel powerless, by manipulating you, and exposing you wrongly. So you're not gonna call me no in front of everybody. I'm gonna show you prime prime example that you're gonna stand up for yourself. But and it's like, but like I said, people always say that Scorpios are typically associated with violence, but we got to understand where that violence is coming from, right? And so Scorpios, if you are a violent Scorpio, you need to understand what you are. What is that fearful place? What is that uncomfortable place for you where that you're not trying to face, but you'll rather strike out at somebody, right? So, and we all do that. We all have to do that deep dive. But if you are a violent person who's a Scorpio in your seventh house, understand what is your trigger so that you can be balanced. Because we are continuing with the balance here. And what it says is, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's a new one. I've heard revengeful, but violent.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard that. That's something I I've
Mm-hmm.
definitely heard revengeful. Like you get me, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna get my lick back. Well, I guess that can tie into being violent. But go ahead, go ahead.
Yep. And so this is how your enemies will attack you. It's because um yeah, Scorpio is ruled by the eighth house. So it says your enemies attack you because they dislike your secret self or want to expose your secret self. Your sense of intimacy can be highly affected by your enemies. So I do know that Scorpios can be very secretive about who they like, what their pleasures are, because they're in that same energy of I'm not about to let you know all of me because you would use that against me, right? That's why that how many times do we hear the stereotype, if that person's a Scorpio, they are freak. Well, how do you think? Why do you think that came to be? Well, because people experience the Scorpio and they like, ooh, let me tell you what I did. This person had me up against the wall, up against the counter, up against the tub, up against the floor. Like I can't even make it to my car because we was in the garage. Why? And that person is like, why are you telling my business? Because now people are gonna come to me expecting the same thing, and if they're not you, then they're not going to get the same thing. It's that same type of energy, right? And at the same time, people can use that like, oh, well, child, that person is very unorthodox. They be doing this, that, and the third, and and I know because Shaniqua down the street had an interaction with him, and we gonna do this, that, and the third. We gonna stay away from him, and he's just like, hey, how are you doing? My name is Tony, and Tony's trying to figure out why half the women in the room don't want to have nothing to do with him. And it's because somebody spread his secret out, spread his most innermost private part out into the open. Right.
That being exposed, not so much exposed as if they're hiding something, because they're not. They hide parts of them because their fear of betrayal is so monumental. But it's not like they're like purposely like harboring secrets. They just, once they get to know you and know that you're trustworthy, that's
exactly.
when they open up. That fear of betrayal will weigh heavy on a Scorpio.
Yes.
Heavy. But they fear betrayal. And once you betray them, like, it's gonna take a long time before they're like, you know what?
Okay.
Maybe I get.
We talking about grudge central. Grudge.
We talking about Area 51. Like,
right.
Maybe they'll give you another chance, but they'll always be looking over their shoulder. Like, yeah,
okay.
They do it again. All right, let's keep it moving.
Okay.
Next we have the Sagittarius. If Sagittarius is on your seventh house cusp, you seek freedom and adventure in your partnerships. You are drawn to optimistic, open-minded individuals who inspire you to explore and grow. You need a relationship that allows for independence and personal growth. That is so Sagittarian energy.
Listen, I just heard boom, baby, boom, baby, boom. That's all I heard. Boom, baby, boom, baby, boom. So we're going to read this real quick. So it says, because Sagittarius is ruled by the planet of Jupiter. And it says, if you have Sagittarius or Jupiter in your seventh house, it says natives with these placements will dislike those who are arrogant, preachy, and ignorant. Arrogant, preachy, and ignorant. However, this dislike can highlight the arrogance the native brings unto others. Your enemies will attempt to attack your hopes, your talents, and attempt to downplay your skills. It is unlikely for these natives to have many enemies. So, just like Virgo and Gemini, you may not have a lot of enemies, right? Because you that boom, baby, boom, baby, boom. You the energy in the room. Come on, 1, 2, 3, right? So people are attracted to you, right? However, when somebody comes in that's arrogant, or somebody that wants to be too preachy, like you need to do this, you need to do that, and all of y'all need to do this, and you just like, oh, it's a turn off. Like, nope, I got to get out. They're messing up the vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. That type of energy. So how do they try to attack you? Because this is the ninth house, right? And it says your enemies attack you because they dislike what and how you believe the world to be. Your view of the world and your beliefs can be highly affected by your enemies. So if you say, I'm literally hearing this and I'm literally seeing this. If you're the type of person and you just like, my mood determines my atmosphere, and you come in, boom, baby, boom. I wish you could see me, Ash, but it's like you got this energy. You a burst of light, and you just dance. It's like the way you walk is like a dance motion, right? You walk and dance, and this person looking at you like, why you doing that? You don't need to be walking like that because you could be attracting the wrong type of person. You don't need to move like that because you look crazy, you look foolish, and then you just like, why are you coming for me? I'm minding my own business, my own Sagittarius seventh house business. Why are you in it? Why are you knocking on my door? Karen, back up, girl, because this ain't what you want, right? And it's just like, let me go, because you irritating me, and all of this has nothing to do with you. That's the energy.
That is so Sagittarian energy. And I can see how someone could try to attack that because the way Sagittarius is look at the world is like on a broader scale. It's like, you know what? Even if I can't do it, I'm going to find a way to do it.
Right.
Even if that's not possible, I'm going to make a way to make it possible.
Exactly.
Like, no, it's not even in our vocabulary. Or we can't, or impossible, or no one's ever done it. That's not even in our vocabulary. Like me, for instance, and like my seventh house is not even in Sagittarius, FYI. But me, for instance, like when I couldn't do something, we'll say this, okay? There was a point in time where the only thing that I would cook would be like basic meals. And when I say basic, I mean pot pie, pizza, spaghetti. And I'm like, you know what? I want to cook something fancy. I want to get snazzy on them. I want to do some damn fried chicken. I want to make some enchiladas. I want to do something that I can go to a restaurant and get. And so I basically taught myself how to cook. I taught myself how to cook all of these different meals. I tried a bunch of different recipes out. I finally got it down pat, and I basically taught myself something that I didn't know. Because growing up, my mother worked, so she would cook, but it would be basic meals. And so that's what I did growing up. When I had children, I cooked basic meals. So I was like, you know what? I'm sick of basic. I want bomb.
Okay.
I want bomb meals. And so I taught myself how to cook. So that's definitely Zach shit.
Okay.
That is like, I taught myself how to cook, and now I have restaurant quality meals. So that's just a little information about that energy. Like, yeah.
It sounds like Bessie trying to invite us to the cookout, to the family reunion.
Listen, I love cooking. There was a point in time where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just make something basic, call it a day, because I got work to do. But now I'm like, you know what? No, let me take my time in the kitchen. Let me do my 1-2s.
Okay.
I love cooking now. It's like a sport for me now. So let's keep it moving. Capricorn is next. With Capricorn on the seventh house cusp, you value stability, responsibility, and commitment in relationships. You are attracted to ambitious, disciplined partners who have a strong sense of duty. Long-term goals and mutual respect are important in your partnerships. This is all Capricorn energy. Discipline, equality. No, I'm sorry, that's that's Aquarius energy. Disciplined partners, ambitious, respect, like long-term goals. That's all Capricorn energy. All Capricorn energy. Every Capricorn I know, disciplined, forward thinking, bosses, always have a business. Like this is Capricorn energy. Go ahead, Bestie.
So can you read that last line one more time?
Last line, long-term goals and mutual respect are important in your partnerships.
Read it one more time for the people in the back.
Long-term goals and mutual respect are important in your partnerships.
I want y'all to remember that when I read this. So if you have Capricorn in your seventh house, it says natives with these placements will dislike those who are closed minded and restrictive. However, natives with these placements may struggle to realize the restrictions they place on themselves and others. Your enemies will attempt to attack your standards and will attempt to show your flaws. So, Bestie, can you read it one more time?
Long-term goals and mutual respect are important in your partnerships.
So if you're looking for something long term, because that's the word that kept sticking out. That's why I asked you to keep reading that. You can't have anything long term if it's restrictive, because it restricts the natural flow of things. It in fact, your heart goes into have a heart attack because there's not enough blood going through the valves, right? So if it's being restrictive to you, it is hurting you. It is almost like you're having a spiritual heart attack. So that's why I had her to repeat that, because I need you all to know and recognize how detrimental that is, because these things could kill you, honestly, right? Because when you are lost my place, because it's ruled by the planet of Saturn. I don't know if I said that or not, but you know, you have to realize and recognize also the restrictions that you place on yourself, because when you're not balanced, you will hold this type of fear, and fear restricts you as well. But when you are balanced, you don't mind expansion, you don't mind trying new things, you don't mind getting out there and going out there. And so this is important to Capricorns, because Capricorns is all about that bread. Anything restricting that bread, you just like, hold up. Now what happened? What's going on? So it's important for the Capricorn seventh house to understand and recognize that in order for me to get my bread, and in order to not be or feel so restrictive in the things that I do and the things that I have in my life, I got to be expansive. And so the Capricorn is in the 10th house. And this is how your enemies attack you. It says your enemies attack you because they dislike your ambitions and your reputation. Your reputation can be highly affected by your enemies. So again, restriction is coming back. If they dislike your ambition, they will try any and everything to stop how you work. If they see that the way you make your money is buy your car, this will be the type of person that comes and slice your tires so you don't go to work. This will be the type of person that will burn down your business if you're talking about opening up a franchise, right? That's that same type of energy. And once you're balanced, you will understand who these people are, because you will understand that you can't connect with any and everybody. You will understand who is there for you and who is against you. Spirit will reveal to you who has snares and traps planned for your downfall, because all of this is to help restrict you. And again, restrictions is sort of like that spiritual heart attack. And at that spiritual heart attack, it will kill you. And I'm saying this for a reason, because I'm literally hearing this. So for definitely, if you have Capricorn in your seventh house, be careful of these things, because especially if you are somebody who is an entrepreneur or somebody who does a lot with money, people will try to trip you up to say, oh, well, this person is embezzling money. This person don't is always counting the books wrong. Like I'm literally hearing this and seeing this. It's like they're always trying to find a slip up with your numbers. So if you dealing with accounting, and then I would say this generally for anybody else too. If you're someone who you do your numbers, you do your books right, and then you pass it off to somebody else, next time just say, no, I got it. I'll take it myself, right? Because you don't want anybody to go in and changing numbers and changing things and with your name on it. That's basically what I'm getting. So that's for somebody specifically. But yes, that's for Capricorn.
Cross them T's and dot them I's. That's what I heard. Make sure
Hmm.
that you triple check your ish, because you never know who's waiting around the corner to like catch you slipping.
Exactly.
That's what always make sure that triple check everything, because there's always someone waiting to take your spot, especially if we're talking about a professional setting. So now we are up to Aquarius. If Aquarius is on your seventh house cusp, it means you seek unconventional, intellectually stimulating relationships. You are drawn to innovative, forward-thinking partners who value individuality. Freedom and equality are essential, and you thrive in partnerships that are unique and progressive. That's Aquarian energy. Unconventional and unique. Two things to describe an Aquarius: unconventional and unique. And I love Aquarian energy. Some of my best friends, practically all of my best friends, besides you, Bestie, are Aquarius.
I have Aquarius in my chart though, so there we go.
I think like the sun sign. I'm in just
I
sun
know
sign.
I'm messing with you. As you was talking, I I can't think of the name of the song. I'm hearing it, but it's frustrating me because it's a song written by Common, and it's like it's a real easy beat, and he say something like something 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 my love, because it's something 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 my love. It's something. It's like that. Once I get it, I'm gonna have to play it for the collective the next time. But I'm literally hearing, and I know it's written by Common. It was when you said that unconventional love, then I start hearing this song. So for Aquarius, they are ruled by the planet Uranus or Uranus, however you want to pronounce it. And it says natives with these placements will dislike those who are unpredictable, detached, and arrogant. Notice how every sign so far does not like arrogance. I just want to point that out. Arrogance is that one thing that everybody hates.
It's a turn off.
It's a
It's a
turn
turn off,
off.
sir.
It's a turn off. But it says who is unpredictable and detached. And I think it's funny because you just read that the person that they like unpredictable love. So or no, what did you say? It was what type of love? Not unconventional. Because unconventional is something that you can't predict. So it's like when you see your person, you like, is this my person? Does that person scare you? In the words of Iyanla Van Zant, beloved, that's your person. If they are scaring you, run towards the scariness because that's your person. And then it says your enemies will attempt to attack your creativity, make your life chaotic, and put down your aspirations. So this is for my dreamers out there, because if your seventh sign is in Uranus, that means that you are a dreamer. You have these visions. I'm seeing Missy Elliott. I'm seeing Beyonce right now, um, and I'm thinking about their stories, right? Their personal stories of how people would slam the doors in their face and they would tell them, "No, you're never going to make it." And now there's one of our current mega superstars that we have, right? It's that same type of energy. It's that energy of I'm going to I'm going to uh, I'm going to tell you that you don't have talent so that you can stop progressing, so that you can stop doing what you do, so I can stop you in your tracks, right? That's that same type of energy. And because it is in the 11th house, This is how your enemies attack you. It's or why. It says your enemies attack you because they dislike your friends and or your aspirations. Again, your dreams. Your group of friends can be highly affected by your enemies. They will cause discord in your group of friends. They will say, "Oh, you know, such and such said this about you. You know, y'all was trying to start that girls group. Well, let me tell you, you know, such and such thinks she's the superstar. She's not trying to be equal with y'all because I heard her say this, that, and the third." And they could be dropping that, dropping different nuggets in your friend circle, trying to break y'all up because they don't like the friendship, the bonds that you have. So in a sense, I'm also getting the cancer energy. It's like you got to protect your home. Right. You got to protect your home. Your friendship circle is your home at this moment. And so and your aspirations really, right? Because if you trying to make your dreams a reality, that means you got to live in your reality, which means that is the home for you, right? So if you're not protecting your home and people are coming in destroying your home, destroying your family members, you know, because we make our friends our families. That is them getting you, trying to destroy you.
That's right. That's right. So we are down to the last one, but
Yes.
certainly not least, my
Yes.
beloved Pisces. So, if Pisces is on your seventh house cusp, you crave spiritual and emotional connection in your relationships. You are attracted to compassionate, empathetic partners who understand, understand, and overstand your sensitive nature. You seek a deep, soulful bond that transcends the material world.
Right. Like you I really want to say it, but I can't because this is going to be another topic for another date. But Ashley and I did meet because we had to talk over some things, but we discovered something else, and and that's all I'm going to say. But I will say that what it said about Neptune and those ruled by the planet of Neptune is that they are highly spiritual. These are it's almost like the divine themselves come to you and say, I'm going to work with you specifically. We're going to have a one-on-one. And so if you got Neptune in your seventh house, baby, meaning if you got Pisces in your seventh house, all your relationships, business and friendship wise, is guided by spirit. You're having spirit will put people in your life to direct you. So anything automatically coming against you in your seventh house means they are coming against spirit. So I want you to recognize this and think on this as I tell you what it is, because the people that rug you the wrong way hold these characteristics. And it says natives with this placement will dislike those who are volatile, manipulative, and power hungry. However, these natives may struggle to acknowledge these traits in themselves. Your enemies will attempt to attack you by making you feel powerless, manipulating you, and exposing you wrongly. So it's a little bit of that the scorpionic energy as well. Like if somebody paints a picture of you the wrong way, it's just like that hurts you to your core. You know, if people are being manipulative towards you or anybody else, you dislike them. If people are trying to overpower you or they make you feel power, they take away your power, or you know, because the only one that gives you power is spirit, right? And so if people make you think that you and God and you are spirit, however you define that higher power in your life, if they try to make it seem like you don't have that connection and they are able to do that, then you start to believe that you and higher power, you and source, you and spirit do not have that connection. And so you start to dim your light down. You start to dim your own self down. And you are ultimately giving them control over you. And although you don't like it, you feel like you don't know how to get out of it. And I can honestly say that I have seen this in Pisces. When they feel like they are backed in a corner and that they can't get out, they just sit, and it's almost like a fish who has been placed, a big fish been placed in a small box. It's like the fish just sit there. I can't move. I can't move to the left. I can't move to the right. I'm just going to sit here. And that's that same energy that it gives me. But I can honestly say that, remember, Pisces, you are two fish. And the scripture, because I'm hearing the scripture right now, one can chase 1,000, two can chase 10,000. So with that that fish duality, you have to understand that if one side of you is weak, don't forget you got a backup battery that can supercharge you. And I want you to remember that. And this is how you can determine who is not, or what your how your enemies will try to attack you, right? Because you're in the 12th house, and it says your enemies attack you because they dislike your private self, or because they do not know your private self. Your subconscious can be highly affected by your enemies. Again, your private self is that same self of you, that higher self that is connected with spirit. Nobody knows the relationship that you and spirit, you and source has. And because you keep it so secretive, because Pisces, let's be honest, y'all can be very private beings, right? Y'all won't let a soul know until the end of it has happened, right? So the thing is, when you keeping it hid like that, people are like, what's going on? Why that person acting so strange? Why that person so quiet? And they will try to poke and poke and poke and poke and poke at you to get it out of you. But no, hold your peace, hold your tongue, because that is your peace. So again, if you have Pisces in your seventh house, you have you are experiencing this right here. And I'm not for sure if we said it earlier in the talk or not, but definitely you will find out what is in your seventh house by getting your chart made, or established and created. So please go check out your chart.
Say that understanding your seventh house can basically transform the way you approach relationships.
Yep.
You'll be looking at relationships not only in a mystical way, but you'll be looking at it as a business partnership. Okay, what can we build together from this relationship? Yes, it's great to have the love, to be googly eyed, but you will build you'll look at the relationship from a standpoint to where you feel like, how can we build, and what can we make by building together?
Right.
Because essentially that's what a marriage is. It's the business partnership. A lot of people go into it wanting to just focus on the love part, but it's more than just love. It's about building an empire and leaving an empire for the generation behind you. So always remember that. It's great to love. It's great to be loved. It's great to be in love. But you are building a legacy for generations underneath you. That's what's important.
Yep. Keep going, Bessie. I have to grab something really quickly, but I'll be right back.
Okay. And I want you guys to take a look at your natal chart. Mine is on the cusp of your seventh house if you haven't already. And just reflect on these qualities and how they show up in your relationships and what you can learn from them. And I guarantee you it will help you moving forward in your partnerships. Business, platonic, romantic, because the main objective has been balance and balancing out energies within yourself, which will in turn help you balancing out energies within partnerships. So once you guys learn that, everything else is going to fall into place. You have to learn balance. And that's what I said at the beginning of this show, that the seventh house is not only the house of partnerships, but it involves relationships, contracts, marriage, balance. It's all about balance. So make sure you guys are balancing out your energies. Make sure that you are balancing out how many other energies you take in, and not taking in too much of something, because too much of something is never a good thing. Even if it's water, too much water will kill you. Too much air will suffocate you. Like,
Exactly.
make sure you are having balance with everything.
Exactly. I was trying to find another candle, but um, one of the things that I think with doing the research for tonight's topic has taught me is the importance, like you said, of balance, right? And if you have to do whatever you need to do to find balance, but one of the things that most recently I have been doing is a lot of candle work, a lot of candle magic, as we call it. It will let you know the stability in your life. So if you have never done candle magic, just look it up. There's so many websites that tell you what to look for, from how the flame of the candle moves, from how the candle burns, if it burns too fast, if it burns too slow, to even how the wax drip out. And I thought it was interesting because I had a candle burning, and Bestie, you'll see it. Um, you will see it in the replay. But I want to show y'all how the candle wax melted, because the other candle did not burn like this, and it was the same type of candle. And it started protruding out. And even when Spirit asked me to get the dark mirror tarot cards or oracle cards, what I was hearing is that a lot of people will start to have revelations about things in their lives, and it's going to feel like you was cut open. So if you felt like you was cut open and it felt like you was bleeding out a little bit, it was just show you that this is some of the things that you need to pay attention to in your life. And if it's not for you, it's meant for somebody else that's in your life. But I want you all to see this. It even attached the match to it. So it went from a candle like this to bleeding out, bleeding all over. And it's like your life is sort of like kind of chaotic and a mess, but it's saying, but Spirit wants me to tell you that it's able to be cleaned up. So even though you have enemies that are attacking you, now that you know how to spot your enemies, you know what to do to protect yourself. You remove yourself. You distance yourself. You build yourself up so that what they try to do will no longer affect you. And even candle magic will tell you how to protect yourself as well. So I just want to share that with the collective.
No, and I definitely cannot wait to watch the playback, because I cannot see anything that you're presenting for the collective, and I'm so upset that I wasn't able to look at you during this live. But everything happens for a reason. I definitely was not starting it over, so I'm gonna catch it on the replay. But thank you for showing that, because I have dibbled and dabbed in candle magic. I haven't dived into it full throttle, but I have
right.
And it is interesting, like how bright the candle, or how bright the flame burns, and how the candle melts. Like, it just is intriguing. It's so intriguing. So we have to talk about that off camera, because I have some questions for you, since you seem to be more advanced than I am. I have some questions for you. So definitely stay by the wayside once we log off. And I just want to thank you guys for rocking with us. 24 episodes in.
Yes.
Y'all are the reason we do this. I know I say it every time, but it's the truth, Ruth. We come on here to help you guys out. We come on here to help you guys help yourselves. So we appreciate you guys. We value you guys. We love you guys. And we hope that this episode was food for the soul for you all, and that you guys can take this wherever you go in life, and each one teach one, reach one. Pass it on to the next person.
Yes.
So, we're not going to hold you guys too much longer. If it's your first, love y'all.
Yes,
Too.
thank
We love
you.
too. If your first time here, we do this every Tuesday, 11:11 Eastern Standard Time, right here on this channel. We have a new topic every Tuesday. Usually it's posted the day of what we're going to be discussing on my page via the Reels. So
Yes.
you always have an insight on what we're going to be talking about. And I always tag Lagoon in it. His channel is always tagged in it as well. So we
Yes.
thank you guys for rocking with us. Almost 2 hours in. So we are going to let you guys go.
Yes.
And anything else, Lagoon, before we tap out?
Nope. You said it all. Thank you.
For anybody who's just not coming in, definitely catch the replay. It will be uploaded as soon as we log out. And please, if you guys like what you saw, give us a thumbs up or no, that's on YouTube. Like it and subscribe and share. I always confuse YouTube and Instagram because I'm on the both simultaneously. So if you guys liked it, please give us a heart. Please share it and comment. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week on Cards and Conversations.
Yes.
Where every episode unfolds a depth of intrigue and discussion.
Exactly.
Peace.
Peace.